Hello, everybody. Welcome back to AOP's 1-in-1 home cash game. I'm your host and commentator, Dave Frazier. If it is your first time here tuning in to All Out Poker's cash game, we try our best to bring you the small stakes content that the average home game player can relate to. If you have tuned in to the other episodes, you may have noticed a little bit of an upgrade. We are now tracking all of the action on our action tracker tablet that is right in front of the dealer. Basically, a quick rundown, the dealer will track every action that the player makes. So it will actually turn that into graphics that you see on the screen right now. So you'll see it is Ron is option. When he checks, I push that button on the tablet. You know, as the action kind of continues, Jeremy's bets, fold, calls, all that stuff is shown on screen in real time. Still trying to learn the tablet though. It was a little bit difficult at the start, as you'll probably notice, but we got things working later on. Really started figuring out straddles and bomb pots and running it twice. So hopefully you'll see some of that tonight. Looking at this action here, looks Bernie has flopped 2 pair. Kind of a scary 2 gives somebody a straight, but looks like he just takes it down with a quick bet there. It looks like this table is full of new faces. You may see some returning players. We got Mike and Sean both playing. You've seen them in previous episodes, but we have tons of new faces here. Change it up a little bit. Looks like we're more than likely going to see a limped pot here, but nope. Will makes a bet, raises it up to 8, and looks like nobody's getting away from their hand. A little bit of a pot builder. Not really a great flop for too many people. Sean's hit an open-ended. I think it gets checked around. Sean hitting a pair of queens. Probably is not too confident with that. It's a very draw-heavy board. Somebody could have a 10. There's spades out there as well. I think Sean's finally going to throw it a bet there. Looks like everybody's probably going to get away from their hand. Mike's always good for a call, yep. There's the 8, giving both Mike and Sean a straight. There's a bit of history between these two players. They love fighting for those pots. The great part about filming this later and not live streaming is cut out a lot of the dead hands, a lot of the not so great footage, stuff you don't want to see. Looks like Tim has arrived. Jeremy looks like he makes a straddle with ace queen.
You gotta pick a card.
Mike's always good for a call. Sean with an ace queen as well. Already won a pretty nice sized pot the first hand of the game. Unfortunately, we didn't have the system running at that time. It's like Pete has pocket 9s. Pretty solid hand. Ron, 9-8 suited. This looks like looking like a pretty interesting pot already. Jeremy 4 bets to $52. May end up seeing a couple people get away from them now. Sean lets the ace queen go. Had position. Pete lets the 9s go. Jeremy really getting the respect here from the start of this game. Oh, looks like Ron's not gonna
I saw it.
let him get this pot.
With the video of this.
Calls $40.
Yeah, bluff to the lady off, eh?
9-8 suited. This pot could turn ugly.
It's hard to continue, right?
$131 in this pot already.
And miss it.
Both players not really hitting much. Ron hitting bottom pair. All in and a call. Wow, that was a quick call from Ron. Jeremy needs to hit an ace, queen, or 10. It doesn't come. Ron wins with a pair of eights. $213 in this spot. That's a pretty decent pot to win at the start of this game.
Yeah, almost committed. Almost.
8-9 suited, $52 free flop. That'll play.
There's a reason I keep giving those back.
Players are discussing how big of their hands were.
Yeah, it's. S-queen, suited, S-king.
Most of these players have never played with each other before. They don't understand how they play, so this is not it's not unusual to see this at the start of a fresh table.
I've been there way too long.
Yeah.
Looks like Mike makes it $7. Ace 5 suited, solid hand. Gets a call from Colby. Pocket eights. Tim calls. Jeremy calls as well. 4-way into the spot. Two queens with a heart draw. Mike on the nut flush draw. Tim bets out his 3 queens. Gets a quick call from Mike. Colby calling. Looking for that 8. Looking like Mike just hit a pair of 5s. Really not going to help him in this spot. Colby raises. Gets re-raised by Tim. Mike in an interesting spot here with the nut flush draw. He makes the call. Colby is probably not liking his spot right now. Really only drawing to an 8. He's got to think someone's got a queen out there. Looking like he doesn't want to get rid of this hand. Colby makes the call. Must not be believing any of these players.
Yes, sir. Might we buy it now?
It's like the 9 comes down, giving Tim the check mark. See if Colby's going to take a stab at it. No, Colby shuts down. Tim checks. Tim must have been some worried about someone out there. Checking the river like that. Probably wouldn't have gotten much of a call, but
So at least 2 people got a queen. So yeah. Okay.
looks like we're moving on to the next hand here.
But you keep your super busy. You just coach, officiating, and 2 spots, right? And job.
Looking like we got a straddle in play.
And some poker.
May end up having a small pot here. $9, $10 in the pot.
enough to be there. Is what I should say.
Not really a great flop for anybody. Nobody's got an ace. Tim with the best hand at 57%. That pair of sixes. Pretty small pot up to this point. I think everyone's just going to let it go.
Run us over with trips every time, Tim.
Tim winning his first two hands at the table.
6 off.
Sounds good.
That's not so bad. I think we've got another straddle in play.
Raise it enough. Yeah. Somebody raises, that's what they all.
Some garbage hands up to this point.
Oh, I think he takes it. Yeah. Pretty much. But you look at the cards.
I'm raising.
Oh, now you're raising.
It's like Bernie's going to make a raise here. Trying to get the dealer to catch up with the graphics.
Go play a hand, Bernie.
Still trying to learn that tablet. Hopefully things get quicker as we go.
Go all time, Mike.
It's like Tim's not going to let it go.
Don't play it, you used to do it. You get experience now.
Great flop for Bernie, hitting the nut flush draw. Tim hitting top pair. This pot should be pretty interesting. Seven comes down, changes nothing. See if Bernie's gonna bet here.
Alright, Tim, you can finish the sun running now, okay?
Unlucky for Bernie.
Too hot.
Yeah, you can take your sun running.
Combinate always goes first. That's a famous.
Tim, I think that's the third or fourth pot that he's won so far. Pete with ace-6 suited. It's like Matt with pocket 5s raises to 7. Bernie has pocket 9s. Looking like it's probably not going to matter if we can get a whole community pot here. Minus a few people, of course. $56 in this pot already. Bernie and Matt looking for a set.
Check.
Tim again with the best hand with top pair. Two pair, sorry. Wondering if Bernie's gonna believe him here. Bernie makes the call. I think everyone folds around.
They didn't raise it, huh?
Pot's over $100 already. Queen comes down, now giving Bernie an open-ended. Gets check. There's Matt's 5 on the river. Probably doesn't want to see that. Tim checks on the river.
It's safe to assume.
Probably wouldn't have gotten paid off there anyway, but small bet would have probably worked. See the chip counts here. Tim just joining the table already has 23% of the chips on the table. Sean coming in at second place, with Matt trailing behind by only $2. These stacks are only going to get larger as the night goes on. Looks like Pete is pretty much right beside the straddle here with pocket sixes. He limps in. Looks like we've got some calls around. Jeremy's all in. $37 is with his remaining stack. Sure, somebody will end up calling him here. Maybe Pete will probably want to gamble. Sean folds Queen Jack suited. I'm sure he wanted to see a flop with that. Pete folds the sixes. Looks like it's getting a folded around to Tim. Tim with ace two suited. Jeremy's got him crushed. Tim makes the call. Ace 10. Jeremy flops two pair. Tim's in really bad shape. And there's the check mark.
Oh, I got a nut flush if I play.
Five suited in it.
I got nut flush.
Get out of there, then.
Drop by the heater,
Yes.
way by the heater.
Here's over.
Wonder if the table's going to do a round of straddles here. Everyone's pretty much straddled up to this point. Will makes a bet with ace 10. Always good for a call. Mike calls. Sean makes the call as well. And Pete runs into another pocket pair. I think he's had quite a few pocket pairs up to this point already, and the game's just started.
No. Did ya?
Pretty good flop for Pete. He's got an overpair with eights. Looks like he checks around to Will. Will continuation bets. Looks like both Mike and Sean fold. And Pete makes the fold as well. Really giving the respect to Will here. Quickly moving on to the next hand here. I like this. I like it. It's nice. It's nice just cutting right to the hand, right to the action. Not watching the dealer be bad. Looks like he's dealer's still trying to catch up with the tablet here. Like $15. Everyone's pretty much got their suits. Doubt we'll see any spades or clubs. Mike hitting the best hand with the queen. Probably going to take down this pot. Can't see anybody calling here.
Tim was my only chance.
Solid hand for Mike.
That's 7 suited. Luckily,
Yet again, moving into the next hand.
This is gonna be the cheapest one I've done here.
It's like that's the end of the straddles.
Just kidding.
Colby with king queen suited makes her bet. Tim winds up with pocket fives. Pete with ace king here. And the small blind out of position.
$7 never works. No respect.
Looking like he wants to see a flop with it first.
Golden 16, maybe.
Colby hitting top pair. Pete's actually got the highest percentage here. Oh, well, not anymore. percentages are changing as people fold their cards.
7 wasn't enough for you.
Pete's got the gut shot with the overpairs and a backdoor club draw, but he makes the fold anyway. Colby takes down that pot.
Call, Kim raises, I go all in, Shannon calls, Kim calls, Kim's got pocket deuces, so we turn bow.
Talking about a game that we had the week prior.
No.
Fortunately, we didn't film that one. Still doing some testing.
Alright.
Had a bit of a problem with the table and the cards. Cards don't last very long. That's
Alex pots to 9,
I think we had 160 hands before one of the cards ended up going dead on the table. It was certainly not good. It was certainly not an investment that I was an expense that I was not expecting.
I didn't see Mark tonight at the game though.
oh, it wasn't right on. I didn't see him.
Look at Mike hits mid pair.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see him then.
Looks like he might be able to scare Jeremy off of his
Two
tens.
guys got the last minute, but it was 18, so it was 18.
Mike's really drawing to a 9 or a 7.
Peter there, Peter Black, he dropped out last second.
Says he only has one out here. Looks like everybody might have folded the 9s and 7s.
Give you guys an estimate of what.
Jeremy goes all in. Can't see Mike making a call here. No, he lets it go. Good fold, Mike. Good fold.
Bad, that's about the two there.
Wish I would have two.
Yep. So we tried to film one of the sessions a couple weeks prior to the release of this video. We ran into some problems with the cards. 2 of the cards stopped reading in the deck. And of course, since I'm dealing, we didn't have the tablet there either. When the cards stopped reading, it stopped showing if any of those cards came down on the flop or in the player's hands, it wouldn't read the player's hands. It just screwed up the entire thing. We were really running into some problems, and of course, I didn't end up noticing it until later on, once the game was finished. So this tablet here is actually going to help with that. I'll be able to identify if a card kind of goes dead on the table much quicker. And it's, we only played about 150 to 160 hands with that deck. So it was a bit surprising considering they're pretty much like $130 to $140 each for a deck. 160 hands is not is not very much. So looking like Colby hit the top pair and Bernie hits his straight on the turn. Looks like he could get paid here. I don't know if Colby's going to be able to get away from the top pair. Probably not putting Bernie on a straight. $81 in the pot. Colby's going for a bet. Bernie's got a raise here. Question is how much? How much value can he get from Colby with his top pair? He must be putting him on some sort of hand. It's like 50. Makes it 50. He may end up getting a call from Colby. I think that was the correct sizing. I think he got the max value from Colby there. Bernie taking down a solid pot. And there is no better time than now to introduce to you our Jack Link's Hand of the Night. This definitely isn't sponsored, by the way. I just wanted to bring an old school poker feel from the 2009 World Series to our show. But this is a great hand. Looks like Mike is racing to 7 with 6-4 offsuit. Looking like he's probably going to get a couple callers here. Jeremy winds up with pocket jacks. 3 bets to 37. And Matt has ace queen. He makes the call. What an interesting pot this is already turning out to be. Wow, it looks like Bernie's going to be making the call as well. No, but he lets it go. Ace 4 suited. Tim's going to make the call with pocket sixes. $120 in this pot. We're going to see a flop. An interesting flop. Doesn't really hit any of the players' hands here, but there's a lot of draws out there. Gets checked around. 3 helps nobody. Looks like Jeremy's going to take a stab at it.
That's 77%.
Jeremy goes all in with pocket jacks.
Already committed.
Possibly a 77 bet.
Matt makes the fold. As does Tim, and Jeremy takes down this pot. But always remember, whether you're low on chips or hungry for a snack, you know you can always put your faith in jacks. All right. What do you guys think of that? Let me know down in the comments if you guys want to see future sponsors on the channel.
What's Brady with the Raiders?
Looks like Mike, moving to the next hand here, looks like Mike has blind bet to 5. It's folding around, but Ron's run into pocket 10s. Tim acting out of turn. Naughty Tim. Pay attention to the game there, Tim.
No, oh, you committed. You folded.
It's like his actions to Jeremy and Matt. They all fold. Folding right to Mike, who looks like he makes the call blind as well. Tim's got pocket 2s.
For some reason that hand, Sean, it folded you before you had to do the action. So I'm wondering-
King, Queen, 4. Not really a great flop for anybody.
Yeah.
Curious to see what Mike's going to do here. Looks like he's going to take a look.
Bet is 20.
Ron continuation bets. Probably get through.
I'll just put it all in.
Oh, Mike shoves all in.
He says 38, but it's another.
Don't think Ron's really going to get away from it.
That is
18 more to call.
that almost makes the whole thing work.
I gotta do
You know, Mike?
You hit that?
Ron looks like he thinks he's
I
beat.
got a 4 in a way.
That's really good. That's all you got.
Looks like the 9 and ace. Looks like the 10s take it. Not a half bad pot. I mean, $131 in there.
If you would have more for the race, they did not hit the king and the queen, right?
Thanks, Ron. You sure it's not the 15, 16?
No, the East, for East is.
Like Sean. Sean's has queens under the gun.
Yeah, Turo. Yeah, I'll be that one.
I guess under the gun to the straddle is what I should say.
Sorry, it's Masters up there.
It's a great hand. See what he's going to do here. Grab some chips. Makes it 12.
See, Sean and I are going down to that. Yeah.
It's like Will makes the call. It's like the graphics are not showing his hand. Some graphical error. Ron makes the call with ace jack. And Matt has run into kings. In the small blind.
DCC using the 14th probably.
Bunch of callers behind Sean. I think he's going to opt for a raise.
Well, I think everybody else.
3 bets to 55. Actions to Mike. It's like Mike makes the call. It's like the graphics are a bit behind here. Mike has pocket 7s. He makes the call as well. Curious to know if Sean's going to 4-bet here. Does have a great hand. Queens is a great hand pre-flop. I think he just makes the call. Players behind him. It's like Will makes the fold. I think Ron might be thinking about making a call here. He does have position. Looks like he makes the fold as well. Jeremy with ace-9 offsuit, probably going to make the fold, which he does. $202 in the pot. It's really good going in pre-flop. Okay, everyone's looking to hit their set. Not a terrible flop. Not that anyone should be worried that someone's got a 6, but there is a diamond draw out there. Looks like Matt makes the same bet, $55. Mike quickly calls with pocket sevens. And Sean shoves all in, remaining stack, $148 all in. Matt quickly calls, and so does Mike. Three-way all in. Sean must not like looking at those kings. Really looking for a queen here. The diamond comes down, gives Mike the flush draw, but he misses, hits the ace on the river.
Really? We do?
Kings take it down.
Oh, I didn't have a diamond.
But it's hard to continue, right?
I threw away ace jack as well.
Oh, looks like Will said he had ace jack.
I had 5-6.
Matt taking down a nice sized pot, $619.
Ace jack. Ace diamond.
Three-way all in. This was a pretty exciting hand.
Offsuit. Ace jack. Because the action's like great premium. Top, you know? But I block aces, so I must be the king there, queen there.
And then,
It's a tough call for
Or maybe
for ace jack.
I block ace. So, king, queen, that's what
Plus the odds are they probably wouldn't have made it all the way down the river with ace jack anyway,
I take it off.
unless they shoved.
I did ace jack, and I'm like, I'm either.
Like Matt here.
that's a highlight.
That's king there, then.
Seems like that should be wrong. He did win a $619 pot.
I will go.
28% of the chips on the table after that hand.
Another table over there if I rearrange some stuff, but.
Yeah, we were talking about putting a second table down there for tournaments. Run a 2-table tournament and possibly film the final table. Looks like Will is running into pocket fours here. Makes a bet to 8. Colby 3 bets. Looks like 25 with ace king offsuit. Gets folded around to Bernie. Bernie makes the fold. As does Sean. Looks like we're heads up action here.
It says 142 on this. Yeah, as I said, I don't know how accurate that is.
It looks like the system stack sizes are off.
$40, man?
Colby doesn't,
Ah,
definitely doesn't have 142 in his stack, but,
not that big.
or actually maybe it was just Will's that I was looking at.
See the
So it might have been a user error on that one.
You might count your stack.
Except I hit a set.
Looks like Will makes the fold, and
I don't know why it was screwed up that much.
sometimes the graphical errors happen. Also, it is first time using the tablet at the table, so looks like we have another situation that's kind of strange here. Mike has kind of bought the button. Sean straddles, and looks like the graphical errors are kind of screwed up here. Sean shoves all in with ace jack.
Because when I click check, it's gonna say it's ready to go to the flop.
It's like we're trying to figure out what we're going to do here, try to make sure the graphics are all correct.
He's missed big blind. So he's not big blind.
Yeah, I just didn't know how to put it down.
Ace jack suited. Sean doesn't have very much left. Looks like it says about $37 in his stack.
Technically, it's not a common situation, so that's what it's not.
I'll fix it in the computer. This will be, and I'll fix it. Hopefully. So, yeah, I'm just.
38.
It's like people are starting to kind of fold here as we kind of figure out the issues. It's like Mike makes the call. King 6.
Got the 2 line cards.
66% for Sean to win this pot. Spikes his ace. It's not bad. Mike looking for a king or a 6.
You're watching, you're gonna say that.
Oh,
No, it's still got odds there.
6 on the
Yeah.
river.
You got a 3 king and 2 sixes.
3 doesn't help. Still looking for a king or a 6. And Sean hits his last ace. Not that he needed it. Gets a nice little double up. Hopefully everything's all fixed the situation?
What's
When I went
that?
down in April, it was 2,200 US.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's
Yeah.
about the same.
What's that?
Yeah. Especially with the exchange.
Oh, crazy, man. Come on, wait, she's back over.
Colby, ace 6 suited. Looks like it gets. Looks like we got a pretty cheap pot. Everybody limping in. Almost a community pot. See here, looks like Pete has flopped 2 pair. Looks like he's trying to slow play it a little bit. Looks like everybody checks around. Looks like Pete checks again. Might be thinking about a re-raise here. Perfect spot for it. No, he makes the call. Jeremy's got an open-ended, as does Sean. The queen comes down. Looks like Colby's got the check mark with the ace. Mike's got the straight with the 9. Colby makes a $15 bet. Mike makes the call. Pete lets go his 2 pair. Colby takes down the pot with the ace. It's a bit surprising there for Pete not playing that a little more aggressively, unless it was a graphical error, right? Stuff like that does happen. We have seen that. But flopping 2 pair like that, I mean, multi-way pot, I think you got to throw some money in there to try to narrow the field a little bit, and you don't want people catching up for free.
Hand is actually registered. So if I end up running into a problem where someone's hand isn't registering, I can figure it out and I can figure it out quick. So if that happens, then I can actually kind of switch out the card. So when I register my deck, I have to the system will tell me on here that okay, put down the ace of spades, put down 2 of spades, right? You do it in order.
Should be warranty on those cards, man.
Man, I messaged him and he's just like, oh, that's pretty typical. I'm not surprised that it's
Yep, we're chatting about how long the decks last. People who have asked about getting an RFID table for themselves at home. Played about 160 hands or so with one deck, and some of the cards stopped reading on the table. So, which means the cards need to be replaced in the deck. Bit surprising. He said we only played 160 hands. That's really not much at all. And it being $130, $140 for a deck, it's certainly not an expense that anyone would expect. But looks like Jeremy's made a pot builder. 10-9 suited, raises to 5, gets called around. Another card read error with Matt. I think Matt makes the bet. Looks like $11. Or $16, I guess. I think it gets folded around. Pete makes the call. He's got a king high flush draw. Pete checks, options to Matt. It's a bet of $22. Mike looking for the gut shot. He makes the call. Looks like Pete's thinking about a decision here. Grabbing calling chips. He calls. Pete looking for that heart. He misses, but Mike hits a 9 on the river. Still have no idea what Matt has. Let me know what you guys think what Matt has here. I think he makes the check. Looks like Matt looks like he has a queen. Can't see the other card. Possibly 2 pair. Probably queen 10. It's been a pretty good night so far, I have to say. You know, the players are playing during a hurricane, believe it or not. It's absolutely praying that we didn't have the power outage, because that would have screwed everything up. Probably shut down all the filming and everything. It's like actions to Colby here. He's got ace jack.
That's 13.
Makes a bet of 13. Getting folded around. Always good for a call. Mike makes the call. 6-5 offsuit.
I'm gonna play next year though. My son, I'm gonna play next year.
Are ya?
Yeah, when I'm play, yeah.
I play with swingers. No, swingers.
What a pretty interesting pot here. We got Ron with king 4.
Like rack.
Spikes his king.
Better than I just want to have fun.
Right, hit ball, right.
That's both that competitive shit now, man.
Yeah, competitively,
Ron makes a nice bet of 15. Colby makes the call.
Yeah. No, no. It's
Looking for an ace or a queen.
they all think they make MLB players.
And there it is. The queen comes down, giving Colby the nut straight. There's no flush draws out there either. Ron's making the call, but it's just going to be dead money. $110 in this pot. Looks like Ron makes a check here, and Colby shoves all in for his remaining stack. $79. Ron's up to a decision here. His top pair is good. Gotta be thinking, you know, really you're only beating bluffs here. Wouldn't be shoving with anything less than what he already has in his hand.
79. 74. What did that say? 79.
Ron's having a tough time getting rid of this king. He makes the fold. Good fold. Is Colby gonna show him? No. He's gonna have to wait. He's gonna have to wait for this for the stream. Or video, I guess. This isn't really a stream. Great laydown by Ron there.
Maybe I find I make 3. I got 2 pairs. 10 block. King 7. No,
It's on
block.
top.
You block the king, I block.
We're moving into the next hand here.
And 2 10s. But
Actions to Tim.
yeah, last king, man. I got a king.
Big Tim folds. Jeremy with king queen offsuit. I think Bernie raises with the king queen. Sean shoves all in. He's got ace jack. All in for 71.
Call the flop.
Camera, see where he stole the chips.
Yeah. I think it was that hand that we had was fun.
Colby folds.
Kind of screwed up.
I'm gonna get made fun of for folding, but
75, right?
King jack?
The graphic errors are dealer's got to keep up with the action. Not paying attention.
What you got? I called you.
It's like Bernie calls.
Yeah, your hand is hit.
Sean's ahead. Great flop for Sean. Bernie completely misses.
making you sweat, bud.
Against king queen.
Bernie looking for a king or a queen. And he hits the queen on the river. There was only 3 outs left in the deck. Bit of a bad beat kind of for Sean.
It's close.
It is what it is though. the way poker is.
$600 a team, and he's getting 20, yeah, it's a lot of money. It's only like $10 rent the field for 2 hours.
What it costs.
It's like actions to Bernie here. You makes the fold.
That's it?
Super cheap.
Mike makes it 13 with King Jack.
I looked at it there one day. I want
Sean calls with King 10.
like pretty expensive.
Bit of history between Mike and Sean. They don't like losing pots against each other. Like Ron's gonna get involved with Queen Jack suited.
It's not fucking, it's fuck all. It like over doubled when we need to like stuff.
Yeah.
That's the only shitty part. Let's say a weekend day tournament now.
3 ways. Going to a flop. 2 aces come down. Neither player has an ace. See if one of them is going to try to take a stab at it.
Fold.
Ron's got the flush draw. Easy win for him. Nice little pot. As you can see, Mike has been playing the most hands tonight. 88% VPIP here. Sean, 64.
Oh, is it? I was pricing them out in China too. I don't know. It's like,
Yep, everybody's. I think the VPIPs are usually a bit larger in live games anyway. It's you know, you play less hands compared to online, so it's online. You know, can definitely see more hands. Plus, you have the human element of live. I personally am more of a favorite towards live play. Looks like we have a large multi-way pot here. Very small pot size.
I can't avoid it. That's 8.
Looks like Will bets $8 with his pair of fives. Might actually take it down here. No, Jeremy makes the call. Jeremy looking for a 2 or 6. Queen comes down. Looks like Will's slowing down a bit. Probably going to go check here on the river. Looks like Will makes a $5 bet. Takes down the pot. Pair of fives was good.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He's a happy man.
It's actually probably almost the biggest hockey now.
Looks like the table's tightening up a bit. Somewhat. Haven't been very many raises. A lot of limped pots. The last few hands. Bernie's got 7-2. If only we were playing the 7-2 game. Bernie would take down a nice pot, I'm sure. Looks like we get checked around here.
Check faster, you can click the button.
Tim's with the best hand with bottom pair. Looks like Matt fires out. Still don't know what Matt has. Looks like Colby's chasing his gut shot. Tim gets rid of the best hand, but it's not a terrible fold. A lot of straight draws out there. Matt fires 15, takes down the pot. Think Matt had a 10 here, maybe? He might have had a 10. If only we knew. Pretty much speculating at this point.
We can think about it this way, 25,000 pennies.
Like Sean's out of the gun here, Queen 10. He limps in. It's like Ron is ace king. Gets folded around to Bernie here. Bernie makes the call. think the graphics need a couple minutes here to catch up. Bernie calling with 8-4 suited. Out of position. Sean calls as well. Bernie must be looking for a suck out here to destroy someone's dreams. 9-5-5, pretty lame board.
That's 20.
Bernie lets it go, as does Sean.
They're so bad on Reddit and stuff. They're blasting me on there for how I deal with. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Really, eh?
And then they're like, and then they're nice about it. And I'm just like, yeah, well, you know, this is a one-man setup, and you know, it's a lot for me to handle. Sorry, I'll work on it. And you know, I'm polite about it, but it's
And like Matt still has 28% of the amount of chips on the table. Tim's behind him with 442.
yeah. There's always the occasional, but like for the most part, like 90% of the comments are always just about the whole setup of the table. It's nothing about like how people played their hands. There's a couple in there, like you know, where you have your online warriors where they're, you know, they can see everything, right? And it's like, why would you do that? Like unbelievable. Like, you realize like, they can't see what each other have. Like,
And some of them
Talking
probably don't realize it.
Talking about some of the Reddit hands here that is posted. We posted a couple clips on Reddit. Just kind of talking about the comments and stuff, and mentioning about how
yeah.
I got open-ended straight draw.
how poor my dealing is, which I mean they're not wrong.
Getting into it is hard to
Oh,
You know, it's always good to just to try to keep the comments respectful. Like these players are only amateur players. No one's a pro here. You know, it's just a low stakes home game. Like everybody just kind of thinks they're an expert online. It's easy to kind of look at a situation and know what you can do when you can see both sides of the cards. So.
I'd love to have Mike and Michael.
see,
But
I'm
I'm like,
everywhere.
that's like, I mean, it's true. I was like, everybody likes to have Mike there.
Look at Hunter, until they start running a lot.
Yeah, really.
And nobody wants me here.
Like that last one you had there.
Having a lot of limped pots again. Oh, here we go. Finally, Tim wakes up with a hand. Pocket kings. Looks like Jeremy calls.
That's the right sign.
Players are being getting a little bit too quick for me on the tablet. Jeremy's got tens.
I had to fix something.
That's it.
It's like we're heads up to this pot.
When you said raised to 20, it was, that's what I thought it was, raised to 20. I didn't realize the 2 was in there, so that's why I had to go back. Okay, so we're good. So
Tim's here with the best hand.
That was all right.
9-8-7. Jeremy
That's 420.
hits an open-ended. Tim shoves all in. It's a big all in.
Close, yeah.
Tim must not want to see any more cards come down. Jeremy's got $138 in this pot.
Call.
Jeremy calls. I mean, he's got the overpair of tens and an open-ended, but he's going to get the bad news when he sees the kings. Unfortunately, he misses here.
Yeah, no banana.
Tim takes it down with kings. Tim definitely wouldn't have liked seeing that ace on the turn. Probably would have slowed him down quite a bit. But unfortunately, that is it for us tonight. I'm glad everybody showed up, watched this episode of the Hurricane poker game. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.